Good day to you all. Welcome once again to Invention Central. Today we've got something special as it's got to do with our big blubbery friends in the water. I'm your host Daniel Caliscan, so without another moment, let's get to it. In this episode, we will discuss whale fin-inspired turbine designs. In essence, blades on rotors that work much better. How much better, you may ask? Up to 20% better. These blades can be on anything that moves through liquids, such as airplane wings, submarines, turbine, and fan blades. This study was done in Harvard that has created a mathematical model of a blade design that imitates the fin of a humpback whale. Frank Fish, a biomechanic, is coined with starting the study. Fish was in a gallery with his wife that was displaying the sculptures of animals. Upon closer inspection of a humpback whale model, he was very confused. The bumps on the flippers had to be on the back end. He was sure about it. They must have got it wrong. The gallery owner overheard what Fish was saying and showed him pictures of a humpback, indeed confirming that these bumps were on the front of a whale. This confused him immensely and caused him to put in a request with the Smithsonian. Fortunately, he didn't get a response back for years. However, a few years afterwards, the Smithsonian called to tell him that a dead humpback whale had washed ashore in Jersey, and he was welcome to get the flipper at a marine mammal stranding center in Brigantine. But the catch was that he himself had to cut it off. He'd assumed since a whale would be about 20 feet long, one flipper would be roughly about 6 feet. This could not be any more wrong, since when he got there, he found out the whale was closer to 30 feet, and each flipper was around 10 feet. He had to cut the flipper into 3 separate sections, and each piece weighed more than 100 pounds. He's quoted as saying, "I drove back in absolute fear that a New Jersey state trooper would stop me, having rotting body parts in black plastic bags in the back of my car." Anyways, he found out after a bunch of study that the humpback whale flipper seems to have an advantage over a flat blade, which allowed it to perform extreme feats of maneuverability. Rather, in terms of an airplane, if the plane wing is too steep, then the plane itself will lose lift and have increased drag since not enough air is flowing over the top of the surface of the wing, not giving enough lift. A humpback whale flipper, on the other hand, can be 40% steeper than a smooth flipper before stalling of any sort occurs. This gives the whale much more freedom to attack at higher angles and the ability to predict its movements and limitations much better. Based on this model, the researchers have found out that this biomimetic design reduced drag by a third and improved lift by almost 30%. This is due to the bumps on a humpback flipper, called tubercles, which look like serrated bumps on the edge of the blade. These bumps change the distribution of pressure on the flipper, causing some parts to stall before others. Based on this, aircraft with tubercles on their wings would be much harder to stall and easier to control. Currently, Frank Fish is the president of a venture called Whale Power. They are based in Toronto, Ontario, and have started applying and testing this design onto wind turbine and fan blades. The testing for these bumpy blades showed that a wind turbine spinning in 10-mile-per-hour winds performed the same as a smooth blade in 17-mile-per-hour winds. It has been stated that these blades are much more stable, quiet, and durable than conventional turbines, going so far as testing in the edge of a hurricane, which it miraculously withstood. The tubercles on the blade channel the airflow in a way that creates swirling vortices. These vortices enhance the lift and the actual movement of the blade. Currently, the Harvard study is hoping to start incorporating this design onto wings, hydrofoils, wind turbines, and helicopter blades. Anything that spins around on a base. To conclude today's episode, we talked about whale fin-inspired blade designs, which work much better than their straight-edge counterparts. I wonder what other animals might contain ideas we could use. Thanks for listening.